talking about a comfort level for the cattlemen in the industry, is we want to make sure that if these horses leave their confinement, that we can get them back in. And right now the rules and laws don't allow us to touch them.
And this is the number one problem. And this is what separates me from all other wild horse advocates, is the fact that I want to put fences around the horses, large acreage, but fences around the horses. And so we do have to work intimately with BLM. We do have to change some laws, because we should be able to go and get our animals from another person's property, and if their cows wandered onto our properties, they should be able to ensure that that's their cows, you know, and get it off the property. So what we did is we confined it to, in certain weak areas of the land, a double fence system. So if a horse could jump 6 foot, 7 foot fence, that there would be another fence behind it. And that is why our ranches are working with the veterans, because we have to have management. You have to have an intimate, high level of management with these horses. We have to separate the inbred girls from the, and they're only with the inbred girls, and the inbred boys are only with the inbred boys. We have to have a high, no mating way about this. If we don't get large acreage now, while we still have a little bit left remaining, they're going to be gone. The large acreage is going to be gone, and we would like to preserve what the Old West looked like. Now, a wild horse doesn't know it's on 50,000 or 100,000 acre ranches, and so we would like 10 on around the West, not just one big humongous million-acre ranch. But quite frankly, on this subject, the fencing will probably cost more than getting or buying 10 acres or 10 ranches. So it is the number one concern, because I am pro-rancher.
You know, I wish I could say that a 5-strand barbed wire fence out there can contain cattle. And if you look at the number of people that have been sued by automobile accidents caused by cattle getting out, if it's made by a man, livestock are going to find a way to breach it. Okay, once it's breached, that's our industry's biggest concern. Now what do we do?
Okay.
So I applaud the idea of doing double fences. It may be overkill, who knows? Remember, they're going to find a way to get out.
We are going to be doing perimeter patrols. We are going to be doing drones. We will have some of the areas cameraed, because we're taking accountability of having these animals. Let me give a scenario which is more likely to happen. One of the things that we want to offer is that if people can no longer take care of an animal, and they, instead of abandoning it out, like in Palomino Valley where they used to, or other places, we have no shame, no guilt concept, where they can actually come, and we'll have an outer stall area. So let's say, for example, one of those people, we haven't taken it in or quarantined or anything like that, but let's say, for example, one of those horses got out. That's likely a more likely scenario. So we would have already the laws known by BLM, and we do have to get a law so we can go get the horses, or to pay for BLM to retrieve the horse. This is a problem. We think we've pretty much come up with a solution for it.
I think that's heading down the right road. I think I spoke earlier, and I'm going to be quite honest. There's people in our industry that find it part of their MO or their business plan is to go on somebody else's permit. It's been happening for years, and our industry doesn't take that lightly. We frown on it. And that's the problem, is it takes a long time for BLM to respond to trespasses. There are sovereign nations that don't get any response at all. So we want to make sure that the rules and laws are in place, that what if something happens to Montana's crew?
I think because I'm listening. He listens, I'm listening, so we both have respect even if there's difference of opinions, we respect each other and move on. BLM is dealing with Department of Ag. They're dealing with the cattlemen, and they're dealing with other wild horse advocates who, I don't know how else to say it, but they almost like worship the horse. And they're fanatical about keeping the horses free. And I would love the horses to be free, but when you see these towns encroaching, Reno, just look at Reno's growth, right? There's like a common sense of seeing where the future is going. And so we want to follow the BLM laws. We want to follow the Department of Ag laws. We can't do what we want to do until there's a law change. BLM is willing to work with me because I'm professional, I listen, I understand, here's a problem. I don't try to diminish the problem. I try to increase the solution to show that I'm actually hearing the problem, or our group is actually hearing the problem. So we're also more pro-vet in helping the veterans and using the horses, forgive me for sounding cold, but as a draw to get the 88% of Americans to come in and see it. Because 88 means it's crossing over political and religious belief systems. It means that it's part of the heart of being American. And that's what we're trying to do, is to be more working together on issues and being more on peace and not radical, and not, it can only be one way. You know, we're trying to work with, okay, so let's get the land and save the land instead of having houses on every flippin' acre that there is out in the West. We also feel that maybe we could protect the cattlemen, and if we do this right, because we want to respect where their issues are and work together. So, and also help the BLM with land reclamation, water reclamation, wildlife preservation, on having acreage where they can do that as well. So if we work together, this should be a very healthy three-legged, four-legged stool.
You know, one of the things that I haven't asked and heard from Montana, and it seems to be, we talked about it earlier with my single interview, was are you in the program, or is there any spay or neuter program at all, or are you trying to avoid that?
We will be having neutering. We will be having spaying, but it will be done after we see, or if, let's say for example, the horses that I had already seen, I already had them known, which one was going to get neutered, which one was going to, but we can try to keep them in family units, but they can't have anymore. I mean, you know, a mare has already had 5, that's enough. Right. You know, so I already had that all done. That was an incredible, expensive information. So, but we want to definitely help the numbers to come down, but in a sensitive, safe, scientific way.